Okay. So, all right. See if this thing is on at all. Yes, it is. Okay. So now, I want to welcome you to this week's Astrology. So, this is the week from the 27th of December 2021 all the way up until the new year, which is January 2nd, 2022. So, for this week, the main aspects for the week, we have the planet Mercury, which we know is that messenger of the gods, the planet that rules our minds. So wherever Mercury is in our chart, that's how we process mentally. That's how we also are learning and syncing in communication style, which is fascinating. That is conjunct Venus, which is what we value, what we love, what we're attracted to in life, what we find beauty in, and how we find beauty, and also looking at our relationships as well. So Mars, which is the planet of action, it is the planet that's, get up and go, that just, wakes us up and gives us the drive and, initiative and strength to do this and that is sextile, meaning that is when a planet is sextile, it's very, very compatible with the planet Saturn, which is so disciplined. So, Saturn really is the serious planet that is like if you go to the principal's office and the principal goes, "Excuse me, why are you here? What are you here to do?" And Saturn is here to remind us, that, this is a challenge that we need to keep going in order to achieve, and, reminds us, how important that this is. So Mercury conjunct Pluto, which really, really looks at words that are truth, like things that were just hidden, that were not communicated, or really, really getting to the bottom of somebody's personality and really speaking with a lot of depth and not, just sugarcoating around the truth, but really, really getting into the truth and the authenticity of what's really going on. The sun trining Uranus, the sun ego getting out there. It shines the light, it takes up the whole entire sky, it's bright, it's exuberant, it gives love and life and all of those things. And Uranus, which is humanitarian, saying, things need to change. With because Uranus is the liberator, that, just wants things to be shaken up and wild, new, exciting flashes of change. So Mercury will move into Aquarius. Mercury in Aquarius is very advanced in its thinking. And Jupiter into Pisces, which Jupiter in Pisces dreams big, and really think about Jupiter as philosophical and optimistic and all of that. It just wants to merge with everything. And Jupiter in Pisces just wants to just be in those sort of altered states with life and various aspects, and there's a softening and compassion with this. And then we have the new moon in Capricorn, which I did a video over earlier this month. So 2021, which breaks down to a 5-year. This year really is about action. It really is a lot of action. 5 is the number in numerology that is all about adventure, all about travel, getting out there, excitement, let's party. It's just big energy, loud energy. And so that's what 2021 is, with the South Node in Sagittarius, North Node in Gemini, gaining a lot of wisdom along our pathway, and also, so shifting our beliefs, looking at the smaller things of life as opposed to that broad vision, which is Sagittarius, and, just seeing a higher perspective, getting a higher view of things as well. So, Sagittarius, we're coming from a very meaningful place of, philosophy and having a lot of wisdom and all of that. And Gemini asks us to get into the smaller things like your neighborhood, your community, communicate, connect with others as well, all those things. So they're opposite. And it took me a while to really see that opposition, because I thought, wow, these two signs are so similar to one another. So Jupiter is finally moving out of Aquarius back into its own sign of Pisces. Jupiter in Aquarius was very freeing. It was very airy. We had a lot of ideas coming in, a lot of, just, so many things that we wanted to do, and it was very liberating, doing, this and that, where we can really, come up with new things and go truly outside of the box. So Jupiter is the planet that looks at the deeper, developing meaning in life. He's very big picture focused, very optimistic, benevolent, and expansive, because Jupiter is the biggest planet in the sky. It's, Jupiter is just filled with gas. It is filled with gas. It's really, that planet that is big. It has big energy. It's just over the top. And it just says, you only have life, so, indulge it. It's very, very carefree. And, it doesn't care about those little, details. It just wants to have fun. Just wants to experience joy, freedom, and adrenaline as well. So this is very optimistic and uplifting energy, where we can really travel and expand and have adventures, really looking at the, and also looking at the gratitude side of life, the abundance of life. So Jupiter uplifts and expands anything in the natal chart that it touches. Whenever I think of Jupiter, I think of the Ghost of Christmas Present from Scrooge, from, The Christmas Carol, and Santa Claus. So, since Jupiter is the ancient ruler of Pisces, the sign that he moves into on December 28th, which is fourth, so it's very logical. It's, very setting structures, setting foundations. Maggie Smith was born on December 28th. And Jupiter is all about luck as well. It is all about fortune as well. So, um, so, um, Jupiter in Pisces is higher learning, higher education, higher faith through our beliefs, because Pisces, after all, the key word is I believe. The key words, the phrase of Pisces is I believe. Um, you know, I believe this, I believe that. I believe that everyone in the world is a divine being and that we can all come together. Really, consciously connected in a higher state, and that there's a force that works through all of us that creates us underneath it all as truly soulful and compassionate beings. So that's, very, very Piscean right there. And I'm saying that matter of factly, just so you know. So, um, so, Saturn, Jupiter's been in Aquarius, Saturn's been in Aquarius, Saturn in Aquarius, looks at how he can change the world, making it a better place. Not about the vertical structures such as government, such as institutions, such as, all those things that were there for many, many centuries and years that have been crumbling down as we realize with the Enlightenment and all of these things like that, when Uranus was discovered, the more, community and humanitarian focus. So, so Pisces is mutable. It changes. Think of the fish. It just goes this way and that way. And we're looking to others more receptively as well, more with the receptive quality of being, understanding others, wanting to help others, wanting to care for others. Being selfless as well, because Pisces serves in that sort of dreamy, mystical sort of way, and Virgo's the practical, here's what I can humbly do to serve you. And together, they're very, very spiritual, feminine beings that really balance each other wonderfully. So, selflessness for the greater good, putting your ego self aside and just doing that out of, just from your heart and from the desire to give. So, there's more compassionate. We're becoming more compassionate. So, the new moon happening on January 2nd in Capricorn. So this is very powerful for Capricorn season. The new moons are very powerful. The new moons are a time to go in and a time to pray and reflect on whatever the theme of the sign is. So for example, this one is about, our goals, our intentions, what we want to, manifest or grow. How are we leading? What are we really, really committed to in life? And it's a good time for this self-reflection because it is the beginning of the new year, and it is a time where people create their New Year's resolutions. So we start very, very solidly. Um, Capricorn climbs up that mountain. It sets the goal and it does it with persistence, it does it with effort, does it with commitment and care. Dedication climbs up that mountain to the top. And, it has to have that drive and it has to have that optimistic outlook, optimistic and realistic outlook. Otherwise, the sign would be I mean, there would be no point in it. So to say that Capricorn is a pessimistic sign, I want to disagree with that, because if you didn't have the optimism, then you would not be so driven, so committed, so determined to, get to the top of that mountain. Without optimism, without all of that, then where would the world be right now? Where would America be right now? Because I believe that maybe the British would, I don't know, would they still be in control of something? So it's that optimism, it's that passion, it's, really, that is the driving force and the driving fuel. Beyond the material, beyond the logical things that you do, that really, steers the ship with that. Okay. So, this is a good time to find a new job because Capricorn is very related to careers. Getting a promotion or raising, starting a business, doing maintenance magic or intention work on an existing business. Because Capricorn is very business, making the money. Time is money, putting all in, and the more you put in, the more you get out in life. And do you want this? Do you want that? I want the world to see me well. I want to have a good amount of money. I want, to help others, serve others, and I can do that if I have these things that I need. If I, you know, you know, if I'm a role model to the world, if I am a role model to the world, guiding others to do this or that, being there for others, in just your own unique way. Because that is really the high road of Capricorn. So it's excellent at building, because Capricorn is the builders. They start very small and then they just work their way up. So Capricorn is an earth sign. Earth is that element of practicality and groundedness. Now, on the impure aspects of it, it does look at your finances as well. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to break down the individual days for this week. Okay, so let's begin with today. So Monday, December 27th. If you have not heard my song, How to Move On, Monday, December 27th, it was actually thought of last year because so many people were going through rough patches with COVID and Christmas time not being normal. Christmas time was just sad and lonely, and it didn't feel the same. And I'm sure a lot of people going through a lot of tough situations where they felt down in the dumps and depressed. And I can certainly say that about myself, because when you have so few things in life that are going on, the slightest thing becomes this huge thing, and your expectations rise. And, when you get high strung and all of that, then you get worked up if something's not perfect, if something's not going the way you want it to, if you're not enjoying it, if you're not feeling happy, joyous, and free, if you're, I mean, and that can cause some guilt and regrets for things that you did not do or say that were mean or negative, but just getting so worked up about the thoughts and then backtracking and just you don't want to have those memories, so you go back mentally and try to reconstruct those things when it's just not worth doing so. Let it go, be in the now, just relax, and whatever it is, no matter how imperfect, no matter, all these things, no matter how you feel, you know, then when you go into it like that, then I think that you might be surprised because there might be some enjoyment. You know, I am certainly enjoying this current holiday season because I have gained a lot of wisdom along my pathway, and because I, just didn't get so incredibly worked up. Um and I don't need to go into some personal things, but basically, and when you just relax, be in the now, all of that, then you'll be surprised because you might really actually enjoy it. And if you don't, that's fine. I mean, even the worst Christmas can be the best. Um, you know, it's a lot of how you look at it and different things like that. And there were many, many good things about last Christmas. Even how how bad it was, there were some good things. For what they were worth, they were positive things that hold nostalgia, memory. It's like, all this types of thing. So the moon today, and I made a video about the quarter moon, the sun in Capricorn, moon being in Libra, with that conflict that was going on. The moon is in the sign, the diplomatic, fair and balanced Libra. The fair and balanced Libra who wants harmony at all costs. And you know how to get some of that harmony? By not pushing things under the rug, but by bringing out those issues that are truthful, that really matter, going there, not being afraid to speak your truth, all of that to get that addressed, to really, really move forward and to have peace and harmony, for the better in the long run. And that is what Scorpio can teach Libra, is that there are some dark, deep sides to life that that need to get addressed. Because it's real and it's primal and all of these types of things. So anyway, um there's wonderful aspects to the planets Mars and Saturn. Mars and Sagittarius, go get them, very, very expansive. And seeking peace, seeking relationships, all kind of relationships, and being very, very open to different types of relationships, um and anything in beautiful ways. So then also Saturn in Aquarius, wanting to help people, wanting peace, wanting everyone to get along and understand each other, as well as Saturn in Aquarius. So this is a great day to push forward with your agenda. There is kind of a match going on in the sky. Whenever the sun and the moon are squaring, they're 90 degrees, I believe. And they're basically fighting. Boxing Day, the true definition is putting things in boxes and selling them, after Christmas because maybe the shirt was not, you know, long enough or it didn't fit or, whatever, and you want to exchange some things. Look at the shops, the holiday stress, and the American Christmas, and going through the motions of the holidays. Well, yeah, it all revolves around the work. Let's just face it, and that's sad, but, blame it on the Industrial Revolution. I mean, there's upsides and downsides to so many things. So, the upside is we have creature comforts. We can, you know, rely on all of these different shops, businesses, industries for products, all different things. The downside, they have to keep working, they have to keep producing, because what if somebody's sick or what if somebody really needs this? All these types of things. So, Um, Moon in so-called mundane astrology looks at the people, looks at the emotions, and the sun is the self. The sun is the light that you shine unto others, and the moon is the people, the connection, security, emotional connection with that. Keeping other people's circumstances in mind. So this is a good opportunity to take advantage of business opportunities presented to you, because the moon, which is your emotions and security, need for security, trines Saturn, which says let's get serious. So something stable, some plan that's very, very stable, and makes you feel secure, getting things accomplished. So that is Monday. Now let's look at Tuesday. So Tuesday is when Jupiter, just at 0 degrees, barely moves into the sign of Pisces. So the moon continues in Libra, and also really forms an aspect with Mercury, which this squares. So, practically, thinking logically, let's make plan on this. And, there's so many things one could say about that. Also, Venus, Moon and Venus, like I want to get out and I want to, do this and that, form new relationships. And Moon just wants to stay home and be right inward. And also Pluto, in Capricorn. So there could be some conflict that could be erupting, especially if there's any grudge or dislike or beef that you have with somebody. Really could brew to the surface, because those issues need to get addressed for the better. So it's a good time to address those things. So this is all about being proactive, what you can do to be efficient, be useful, what can you do that's functional to help yourself, maybe your family. What is the solution that you can do? What do you need to do that really matters? Planning, going in to getting down to earth. And just with the storm fields and protection, I would say to not really do anything that you're going to regret later. So now, Tuesday 28th, we've really kind of fall down the mountain. That rock fell down the mountain. And now, the next day after that, December 29th, that is the day when the rock comes back up again. The rock comes back up again. And maybe a 1,000th time, you'll finally get that rock up onto the hill. It's like we're almost there. We're almost till the end of 2021, but not quite. So we're kind of in between worlds now. Wednesday, the 29th, Mercury conjunct Venus. So we really, this is a good time for loving words, connecting, and so many things with that. In Mars sextile, the sign of Saturn, getting along with Saturn. So it gives us the drive and the ambition to carry out these goals and plans that we want to. So in the morning, Venus conjunct Mercury in Capricorn. Mercury conjunct Venus, which really, really gets serious as well. So if you're experiencing troubles in your relationship because of Venus conjunct Mercury, conjuncting the planet of love, and money, and all those things. And I talked about these planets in Capricorn. That'll help you understand your relationships on a deeper level. Um, so this is also a good time to open up the lines of communication, getting your feelings out. Communicating your feelings, not keeping those things in, but doing it in a constructive way as well. So later in the day, Mars sextiles Saturn and Aquarius. So we have Mars in Sagittarius wanting to get out there, wanting to expand our horizons, and Saturn in Aquarius, wanting a better future, wanting to go outside the box, and difficulties with standing out, difficulties with expressing um, individuality. So this gives a lot of creativity, a lot of ideas coming in, just just so many endless possibilities, and really feeling that element of air, element of fire energy. I'd like to think that Sagittarius is, because it's philosophical and it looks at higher learning and education, yet it's a fire sign wanting to, travel and move and experience, because it's a centaur, half human, half horse. It is both air and fire. The horse gallops. It's a symbol. Horses are symbols of freedom. And Aquarius is the water bearer that pours the water from the sky, from something higher, pours the knowledge and wisdom. Like this is, higher knowledge and wisdom that we didn't know about that, but, where we need and where we might really want, the direction that we really might want to go towards. So Mars sextile Saturn really looks at really strategizing and planning your next steps. So it's great for career ambitions. And this energy, you can really use this to go after your wants and what you need. Because Capricorn, work, you know, like, and Mars is very driven, and that fire star, that energy, that she, as Deborah Silverman says. So, doing what you love to do as well with this as well. So, but it also is saying, this is also an invitation saying to us, asking us to be patient as well. Being patient, taking it one step at a time, and, this thing might not work out the way we planned. This might not going quick enough. We might not be getting the results that we want. We might not be getting there quick enough. It's all about being patient and taking it one step at a time, and slowly but surely, gradually, we will get there. So, so the slower the better, because not everything is fast. Just because something fast is not exactly good. The more you put into it, the more quality, the more effort and time and care that you put into it, the better the results will be. Like there's this saying, it's worth the wait. I'm sure that you've had the experience where you're sitting in a restaurant and it takes forever to get, that dish that you want. But when it comes, I'm sure that it is worth the wait, because that amount of time. Time, the more you put in, the more you get out in Capricorn. It's all about time and how you utilize it, how you make the most of it, and quality. It does not cut around the corners. Mediocrity, no way. Saturn wants you to be at your utmost and your best, because it's purpose, it's putting yourself out there and all these things like that. So your excellence as well. So now we're going to be looking at Thursday, December 30th. So December 30th, 2021, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 2. 2 compassion, loving, caring. Yeah. Don't get into the ditch. So, Mercury moves on to Mercury joins Pluto. Mercury joins Pluto in communication, truth communication. Really honest and authentic communication with others will be deep and intense. So, there could be a position where you could say that you might influence others in a very, very powerful way. Pluto, P, is power. So this could be for better or for worse. The words that you might say, which are truth, which are so deep and um, profound, might hurt or might inspire and influence for better or worse. Nonetheless, um so with this as well, avoiding manipulation, avoiding bribing, avoiding something known as coercion, because it could lead to power struggles, wanting to be, in control of people, wanting you to do this and that, for your own benefit. And that's, the lower frequency of Scorpio. The higher frequency is really the healer, really unconditionally loving you and being there for you. And, knowing, I've been there, I've been into those deeper realms of life, because Scorpio is about the underworld and everything like that. And, getting that revealed. And also, an interesting thing about Mercury is, and I was reading this, that Mercury traveled from Olympus, which is the high light-filled, in ancient myth, and it also traveled to the underworld, so there is that aspect in balancing those. The downside of Scorpio, Gemini is the darker areas of communication, such as gossip. And keep your secrets to yourself. Don't spread gossip. Don't, spread the dirt around with them. So, now we're going to be looking at Friday, December 31st. So, the moon in Sagittarius. So, your moon is your emotions. Your moon is your emotions. Sagittarius is wild. It just wants to throw a party. Is very enthusiastic, loving life, loving to laugh, and so optimistic. So open to new things, wanting to explore, wanting, the fun factor. It's that feeling when you ride a roller coaster or you come out of it. You know, So it's a great day to celebrate. It's a great day to have a party, since Sagittarius wants to get its party on. Your mood will be You might be feeling very, very joyful, in such a very good mood with a real thirst and positive, very optimistic outlook on life and open to so many things, and just the sky is the limit where you want to do this and you want to do that. And you can stretch for, reach for the stars. And there may be some difficulties, but it's all about keeping your eye on the ball, keeping your eye on the future. Getting so caught up in the past and all those things because it's in the past. So then, January 1st, 2022. So the first day of 2022, New Year's Day, new beginning. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now it is time for material wealth.